Lots of enthusiasm around that presentation of the Star-Spangled Banner. And we've got plenty more coming up. Stay tuned.
I'ma need you to back up. I'ma need you to back up. Yep. I'ma need you to back up. Spilling the tea, you stirring the cup. I'ma need you to back up. I'ma need you to back up. Yep. I'm in the seven.
Welcome, everyone. It's time for NBA action. Coming to you live on this Saturday night. Kevin Harlan here, and I'm joined by Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg with David Aldridge on our sideline. DA, it's all yours.
Rockets coach Mike D'Antoni is the modern-day godfather of pace and space. His teams in Phoenix popularize small ball, moving around and pushing the tempo in their 7 seconds or less offense. It's ironic that now his Houston team plays a much slower isolation style of basketball. But Kevin, that shows his flexibility and D'Antoni's ability to adapt to his personnel.
Whatever works, David. Thanks. Here we are in November, and let's see how things are going out east in the early season. You look at Chicago. Right now they're in 7th in the conference, looking to build on their record.
And, you know, for the Bulls, seeing them where they are now, it's easy to forget just how awful they were a season ago. This is a team that's made major strides to lift themselves into the middle of the pack.
Well, I tell you what, it's been a grit and grind effort for them. They know how to win, and that's not something you could say about them last year.
A look at the opening lineup for the Houston Rockets. Harden and Gordon are out on the wings. Robert Covington out there with P.J. Tucker. And it's Westbrook in at the point guard position. And for Chicago, Levine at the 2 with Porter at the 3. Markkanen and Carter are up front. And it's White in at the 1. Clark, the rookies are still trying to get their firm footing as a new season begins and a new arena for them opens up. Talk about your journey over the course of your rookie year.
Yeah, I remember it was really exciting to have fulfilled the dream of being an NBA player. I struggled early in the season, particularly against some of the veteran guys I ran up against, but found my rhythm and really played extremely well for the second segment of the season. But there was a period, Kevin, when I ran into a wall and just had nothing in terms of sharpness or legs. And then all of a sudden, after about a week and a half of that, it just went away. And I hit my stride and finished strong.
Now here's White. Thrown back. Right side, Westbrook. It's good.
And it's the fearlessness of Westbrook. It's really refreshing to watch. When he's deep inside, he just goes right at you.
Westbrook against White. Passes it to Carter. To the paint, and there's Porter on the assist by Carter.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
Well, this early, they should be showing a lot more energy on defense. It's not there.
And Westbrook is a terror from the mid-range, terrific at sticking it to the defense from that spot on the floor.
White the pass to Levine. Carter looking around. Outside, Porter. Clock at 6. Shoots over Covington. Porter, no luck. And it's Gordon with the ball. He brings it up for the Rockets. Pass to Westbrook. From beyond the arc, cranes the three-pointer. Westbrook's got his 3rd basket of the night right there.
Whether he's attacking the basket or squaring up from long range, Westbrook is always dangerous.
Now here's White. Here's Carter. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
And you look at Wendell Carter Jr., the center out of Duke. Fantastic blend of size and mobility. A lot to like about what he can do.
That free throw missing. And with Wendell Carter Jr., we saw flashes of his potential last season.
Easy to see why he was a snap pick at 7 for the Bulls back in 2018. As he gets more comfortable in his role and his teammates lean on him, he could be a force.
And he ends up missing both free throws. Rockets have gotten their first 3 shots to go in for him to start off this game. And the basket by Gordon.
And this is how you want to start the ball game. 4 for 4 from the field. Seems like they're right on point and can't miss.
And Porter, here we go. Kicks it out to Markkanen. White the pass to Porter. Outside, Levine. Will it go? Off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt.
The real. Come at us, and we're coming right back at you.
A little back and forth from long range. I love it. That's a terrific answer there. One of the things you've got to admire and respect about him is his aggressiveness at the offensive end, always in attack mode.
And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. It's going to be on James Harden.
You know, you look at Levine's game, and we all know he can score the ball, but he rebounds it well and passes better than average. This guy is really an outstanding all-around player.
Free throw good, Levine. And Coach Jim Boylan agreeing to a multi-year extension with the Bulls this summer, Greg.
And taking that interim tag off his title as head coach, Boylan, with over 30 years of coaching experience, afforded the opportunity to continue developing this young core.
And so Levine nails both of them. Now you just watch Levine play, and you can see the athleticism he possesses. Greg just explodes anytime he wants to.
And guys, with Levine, the speed and first step have always been there for him. But you can see the strength he's added to his game since his rookie year whenever he goes at the rim. That's 12 straight points coming off the triple.
Yeah, Greg, you know, they're having free reign from beyond the arc. The defense is just not there.
And the Bulls with another miss. Rockets leading by 9. Here's Westbrook, and he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up. And Chicago called for the foul.
And Russell Westbrook is as explosive a guard as we've seen in the history of the game. An incredibly gifted scorer who can also punch it on you.
And what do you guys think so far about the offensive approach for Houston?
Shoot 2. Well, I'll tell you what, they must have had a good shoot-around because they've been fantastic from long range so far, fellas.
And also another aspect of their game that's been super so far tonight is how they've been sharing the basketball.
And the first one drops.
And for so many things that the Rockets do right, one area they can lapse in is rebounding.
Yeah, and a big part of that, I think, is they play a lot of small ball, and the defense is decent, but the rebounding suffers when they go small. They were bottom 3 in the league last year in rebounding.
And so Westbrook makes them both.
Well, you knew after the Paul George trade that the Thunder would look to sell on Westbrook as well. Just part of the rebuild at this point. His agent did well to get him to a team looking to compete. A great fit for a player in this stage of Russ's career.
Now here's Westbrook. Zach LaVine unable to get his last shot to go. And stolen by White. Here's Porter. It doesn't go for him. Gordon with the defensive effort. To the wing right side. And Westbrook, here we go. And the layup's good off the glass. Westbrook's got 14 points.
Boy, what a quarter for him. I mean, he's found his rhythm, and he's really riding that wave right now.
Markkanen kicks to Levine. Kept alive. Carter. That's tipped.
A rare rejection that time from Tucker. Using that long reach, though, and times it perfectly.
Houston leading by 11. Now Westbrook. He had 19 points in the win against Golden State.
And it was an unselfish night for him as well. He got plenty of assists to go along with all those points.
Way ahead of the field. He can do pretty much whatever he wants.
You know, and not leaving anything to chance either. That's why he takes it right to the bucket.
Now here's Harden. 33 points last game, and it's good, 2 points.
And their offense already in a flow. Some stellar shooting to jump out to this lead.
Quality looks they're getting, and they're capitalizing on them, guys. They have to be happy with this start offensively.
Here's Levine. 11 points for him in that last game against Atlanta. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. Well, while we have a second, let's show you the list of players who put up the most points last year. James Harden, number 1.
And he's not going to forget that season anytime soon. And it's safe to say neither will anyone who watched him.
That's good from Carter. But there are a lot of great playmakers in this NBA that sometimes we don't talk about or under the radar.
Yeah, there are. Again, there's so many outstanding players in a league of 30 teams. But, you know, Drew Holiday has been outstanding as a big playmaking guard, as good scoring the ball as he is playmaking. Draymond Green, not a guard, but makes decisions and passes the ball like a high-level guard and is extremely valuable in that Warriors attack. Those two guys are a little bit undervalued for their ability to make their teammates better.
Good point. Bulls trail by 9. And stolen by Gordon. The pass to Tucker. Kicks to House. Clock at 4. Houston needs to get a shot off. Left block shot on the way. Westbrook, no good. And so it's Porter bringing it up now for Chicago. White against Covington. White left side. Here's Carter. Good D by Covington.
Boy, that defense smothered him in there. Love the intensity.
Gordon deciding where to go with it. And the foul on Wendell Carter. That's his first foul. Some changes for Chicago. Luke Cornett, he's checked in for Carter. Young comes in for Lauri Markkanen. And Satoransky's subbed in for Otto Porter Jr. Houston also making some changes. Jeff Green, he's checked in for Robert Covington. And it's Ben McLemore in for Gordon. Now here's Westbrook. 14 points for him.
You can't look at the result of that shot. They'll take that whenever they get it.
Well, you know, I hear you. That's a good look. But when you're that wide open, I think you got to knock it down. Well, you know, guys, with the style of offense the Rockets play, they hear some criticism. They look for fouls, they want to draw fouls, and they shoot a ton of threes. No matter what the game situation is, they're jacking up threes. It does polarize some fans and purists who follow the game.
He misses the free throw. And with the Rockets, they've heard plenty about how they look for fouls.
And that's a big part of how they attack. I mean, they want to draw fouls, want to get to that foul line. They make no bones about it. But because of the pace of play being as slow as it was for them, they were third in that category. They also were third in free throws made.
Catching up on the changes for Chicago. Chandler Hutchison comes in for Levine, and it's done in for White. Rockets leading by 8. Rivers with it. He picked up 15 points in their last win against Golden State. Green up on top. Ball's knocked loose and stolen by Dunn. count the basket.
Tell you what, the length of Dunn really creates problems for the opposition. He's so good at getting his hands in the passing lane and coming up with steals.
Now here's Rivers. McLemore, the pass to Rivers. Young against Green. Back to Rivers. And McLemore kicks to Green. Shot clock at 5. Can they get it? Can't hit that one. And the Bulls going the other way now. This, of course, their first opportunity to play Houston this season.
And with this matchup being an East versus West affair, it'll be the first of only 2 meetings between the teams.
And, you know, there's always a bit of a filling out process in that first game between opponents. A lot different than when you've played a team you're familiar with.
And those are the kind of nice inside looks they've gotten here in the first half.
Here's Cornette. He's coming off a 13-point game against the Hawks in Atlanta. Young against Carroll. Here's Dunn. Rockets with the rebound. Here is House. 14 points from him the last game against Golden State.
And he also dominated the glass out there. He hit the boards hard and often.
Dunn passes to Satoransky. Here's Cornette. 1:32 left to play here in the first. Here's Hutchison. Here's Young. That's in, coming off an assist from Dunn.
And this has been a great job of just getting into the middle of that defense and really scoring effectively from the paint.
Pass to McLemore. Now here's Carroll. He's guarded closely. And stolen by Dunn. In transition, here come the Bulls. Satoransky gets the bucket. Now just a 2-point Houston lead.
Well, one thing you like there is the extra pass. Evidence that the game is starting to slow down for Dunn.
Rivers kicks to McLemore. Hits the 3-point bomb.
And he's not going to miss that sort of an opportunity from deep.
Now here's Dunn. Lays it up off the glass. Dunn's got his second basket.
I don't know what's happening defensively, but they're not putting up any resistance.
I tell you what, it reminds me of one of my college coaches who used to say, that ain't going to get it done. That's 5 straight baskets in the paint now.
Satoransky, the pass to Dunn. It's blocked. Pass to Green. Here's Rivers. And that one released in time, but no good.
Dunn is a very physical defender. I mean, he gives his guys no room to operate.
And that concludes a back-and-forth, high-scoring first quarter of play. Houston on top, up by 3. The second quarter coming up right after this break, so don't go anywhere. Now a chance to hear shooting guard Eric Gordon talk about their key to winning.
It's all about not making mistakes, getting rebounds, and getting good stops to really push the pace up. And I think when we do that, we always are at our best.
And Greg, nowadays it's all about pushing the pace.
And it's an offensive-oriented league now. When you execute and really look to attack, it puts the opposition on their heels.
Some good action already in this one, but a fairly even matchup after the first quarter of play. Let's quickly break down the game we've seen so far from the Rockets, guys.
Just stretching out the floor in that first, they had the defense scrambling.
And you know what? That's what happens when you establish your 3-point game early. Puts the defense right up against it.
They've got Harrison. Young out there with Valentine. Then it's Chris Dunn. And it's Cornette in at the center. That's the Bulls 5 as we get into the second quarter. Outside, House. It's hauled in by Cornette. Bulls trail by 3. And here is Valentine. "11 feet away." Shot clock at 6. Here's Harrison, guarded by McLemore. And that one's good, Harrison.
And that's 10 straight points in the paint. The defense, nowhere to be found.
I think they've really got to start committing more bodies down low and really kind of close that area off defensively.
And it's Harrison with the ball for the Chicago Bulls. They haven't allowed any points in the second quarter. Next up for them, the Knicks coming out here to play. That'll be the latter half of this 2-game homestand.
And every once in a while, he'll show up and give you some great moves around the hoop.
Well, you know, for so long, Mike D'Antoni has been a vanguard on NBA offense. His teams have always played great offense, moving, spacing, dynamic players. Defense has not been at the level of offense, but I think he's actually improved as a coach in that area as well.
The Rockets again can't hit.
And smothered him on that mid-range attempt.
As a defender, he's going to just be a bothersome, worrisome guy, making you miserable all night, a hand in your face on every jump.
Now, here's Dunn. To the middle, stolen by Rivers. And a little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second quarter. And Clark, part of it for D'Antoni is that he is delegating defensive duties.
Yeah, and I like that, Kevin. He's made sure to have a defensive coordinator on his staff, delegating that role and responsibility. He thinks and knows that his team is better off that way.
And guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown so far for the Bulls.
That mid-range shot has been a weapon for them up to this point, fellas.
Something else they've been able to do so far tonight is earn those tough points in the paint.
That free throw, no good. Analytics, Clark, are such a major factor for coaching staffs and scouting staffs, and plenty of microanalysis to go around. But some statistics can actually be a little bit misleading, don't you think?
Yeah, I agree with you, Kevin, and you can torture the numbers to say whatever you want them to say, so you have to be careful. I think there's a great place for analytics in the game. It's very useful in some areas, but you have to balance it. There has to be a blend there. Take, for instance, shot blocking. Just because you don't block a shot, that sometimes can dismiss what changing shots do to a team's defense or for a team's defense. The number of threes being taken. Effective field goal percentage is more important than raw field goal percentage because of threes. And, you know, he's going to take that shot every time. The defense has to respect him from the mid-range.
Here's Harrison. Good work defensively by Harden. Rockets have gone 1 of 6 from the field in the second quarter. It's been a rough period so far. Gordon. And it's sent back by Carter. And he recovers it. Westbrook can't get it to go.
He's cooled down a little bit after draining those 2 3-pointers in the first quarter.
Outside, White. Pass to Carter. Here's Harrison, guarded by Harden. 5 to shoot. The shot by Harrison, no good. Houston's gone to the three-pointer 11 times tonight and nailed 5 of them. Harden finds Westbrook. Closing in on 4 minutes played here in the second quarter. The teardrop falls in. Westbrook's got 4 points now in the quarter.
Well, he's just zoned in. I mean, in most cases, taking quality shots very much within the flow of the offense.
Westbrook against White. And the rebound goes to the Rockets. 13 points was their biggest lead in the game. The basket counts and 1. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it a 3-point play.
I don't think there's anybody better than Harden at converting through contact. Superb in that area because he's crafty, he's strong, and he's skilled.
And with all the accolades that James Harden has accumulated in his career, Clark, the one thing missing is a championship ring.
And, you know, there's no guarantees for however great you are individually that you'll win a championship. We've got a lot of great players that weren't able to get that done. But, you know, when you think about it, That's one thing that's keeping him from being in the all-time great shooting guard conversation in the eyes of some. Team success is critically important. Championships add to your resume, but I think at the end of the day, when you maximize your individual contributions, that should be worth something in terms of your recognition and accolades.
Well, a lot of players can get hot, but nobody can match Harden when he gets locked in. The way he can create space and drill shots from deep, really impossible to guard.
Now here's White. Softly drops in the floater. White's got his second basket of the game.
Yeah, attacking the interior is something White does well. He's crafty, and he makes good adjustments against the defense.
It's Westbrook with the drive. That miss makes him 7 for 12 from the field this game. Knocked away. Here's the dish to Harden. Here's Gordon. It's good. The assist that time from Harden. Gordon's got his second basket of the night. And with Harden, he not only gets hot for a game, but stays hot, Greg, for longer periods of time.
And you saw that last year with a streak of 30 and 40-point games. For weeks, he can dominate and really frustrate defenses, and there isn't anything you can do about it.
Porter's checked in for Harrison. Rockets leading by 4. Outside Westbrook. With the floater and out of bounds as the Bulls gain possession.
All right, a chance to check out the stats for Harden. Coming off a terrific season. Last season, averaging 36 points a game, 7 assists and 6 rebounds. And he was their top scorer throughout last season.
Well, his teammates knew whenever they really needed a basket, just look his way.
Here's White, and that one goes long. Houston's gone 0-3 from beyond the arc to start the second quarter. Tucker dishes to Westbrook. Fires for 3. Chicago grabs the miss. They're coming into this game off that recent loss to Atlanta.
I tell you, they were drawing a lot of iron from the perimeter. Couldn't get the threes to go down, and really the story of the game.
And, you know, that's a big part of how they attack and win, getting it going from the three-point line. But at the end of the day, it didn't happen.
Levine, good.
Boy, that three lined up by Levine, right on target. He's a solid three-point shooter, right around 35% from long range.
Now here's Westbrook. He's got 18. Harden outside. They get it again. Second chance shot. Gordon with no one around. That's good, and so Westbrook comes up with the assist. Westbrook's got 3 assists now in this one. Now Levine. 10 points for him. Outside Porter. He feeds it to Carter. 6 on the shot clock. And Eric Gordon pulls it down. Gordon's got 6 rebounds here tonight. Harden outside. That shot off. Excellent D there from Markkanen. Levine against Westbrook. And Robert Covington picks up the foul. That's his first foul. Some changes for Chicago. Chandler Hutchison comes in for Markkanen, and Zedaransky subbed in for White.
Chandler Hutchison. Tomas Zedaransky.
And it's the Bulls with the ball, trailing by 4.
And boy, has he picked it up since the start of the second. His shots now starting to fall.
Harden with it. He has 7. Another field goal for him. 4 for 6 shooting tonight.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Yeah, I think they've got to ramp up the aggressiveness, Greg. I mean, if they don't, things are just going to get worse from here.
The shot. And Westbrook gets it to go on the assist from Harden. Now it's a 5-point Rocket lead.
Man, you got to admire how easily Westbrook takes over games. I mean, an offensive juggernaut who is tenacious when it comes to scoring.
For three, Levine. That shot misses. And Houston the other way now. 13 points was their biggest lead in the game.
Yeah, and a dangerous trend here as they're starting to live and die with outside jumpers.
Really good point, Greg. I mean, you want to keep that balance, and attacking inside creates space for shooters, and having shooters creates opportunities inside, so it works hand in glove.
Score the basket. His fourth. He's only missed one of his 5 shots tonight. Bulls trail by 9. 1:16 left to play in the first half. Make it 5 for 10 with him in that bucket.
Well, this is what you admire about Levine's offensive game now. I mean, it isn't all threes and dunks. He's got some meat on that sandwich now.
And Houston calls their first time out of the game. They come in fresh off a win against the Warriors.
Well, it helps when your opponent makes that many mistakes. I thought that was the story of the game.
Yeah, I think that was a big part of it for sure, as it is anytime you make a bunch of mistakes. All they had to do was follow their game plan, and that's exactly what they did.
Size 60, I might got standing so tall, I think I might got stills. Legendary baller like Mike, like Will. 96 Impala, 4 wheels. Up against the wall, at Fox Hill. Like a boss asked me how I feel. Successful street, touching them first meals. All my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle paid the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice, that's why. All my life, I've been grinding all my life. All my life, grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle paid the price. Want a slice.
Luke Cornett, he's checked in for Chicago. Young comes in for Otto Porter Jr. Houston making some changes. Here's Green. He's been patient so far, nothing on the scoreboard yet. Rivers passes to House. 55 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. Shot clock at 5, and there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for 2.
And what a journey it's been for Austin Rivers since being drafted 10th overall back in 2012. Looked like he might not have what it takes to be an NBA player early, but he persevered and is now an integral part of this group.
Shooting 2.
That one is off. And he's good on the second. 50 seconds left in the first half. Bulls trail by 8. Here's Satoransky. There's the pass to Hutchison. The Bulls need to get a shot off here. Young's shot is off. And so Green will bring it up for the Houston Rockets. Looking ahead to their next game, playing at New Orleans, they'll match up against the Pelicans. That will conclude their brief 2-game road trip. And he gets the bucket.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
Now here's Levine. Off target at the rim. And so it's Houston going into the break with a 10-point lead. They've set the tone. They love their tempo. They're going to be very tough to stop. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks, Kevin. Russell, how confident are you that there's nobody that can stay in front of you?
Very confident. I have a lot of confidence in myself. I put a lot of work in the summertime, and I'm very confident.
That is never a problem for you, Russ. Thanks very much. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks for the great interview, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of basketball following halftime.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello, basketball fans. What a pleasure it is to bring you into the 2K studios again. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. There was no stopping Russell Westbrook in the first half. He had 20 points, 3 assists, and 2 steals. He's clearly shaken off his mediocre performance from their last game as he has been dominant in the first half tonight. What'd you think, Shaq, about the first half we saw from the Rockets?
Some great work from them with the 3-ball. They came in with the idea that they can attack this D from long range. They were rotating the ball on the perimeter and letting it fly. And they got a good look. It's a strategy that paid off with a barrage of threes. That's my barrage sound, Ernie.
And Kenny, let's get your input on the Bulls.
Well, they just didn't produce enough offense. I don't know if it's because they were expending so much energy on the defensive end, but clearly they have to take a look at this. What plays are we calling? And how can we improve that? And they have to do it fast, because if they don't, this game is going to run away from them.
And that's a wrap for our halftime show. The third quarter just about to get started.
And if you're just joining us in this one, first half is in the books, 1 half to go. Well, you look at Russell Westbrook in this game, he has been everywhere.
Well, he left his mark on that first half with his quick hands. Great sense of timing to pile up the steals.
Well, I thought it was a great defensive performance for him so far. He's aware, he's alive, he's alert, quick to react to everything that's going on around him. Can't do it much better than that.
We played through the first half. Plenty of basketball, though, left in this one. Rockets leading by 10. Third quarter action getting rolling right now. Brought to you by Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. Here's who's on the floor. And so in the game for the Rockets. Westbrook and Harden, the dynamite pair. They're the backcourt. PJ Tucker is out there with Robert Covington. And it's Gordon in at the 3. Clock is at 3. Just his first attempt. Chicago grabs the miss. Levine's got his 5th rebound in this one. White down low, guarded by Harden. White, good. White's got 6.
Boy, a terrific find. Levine plays mostly the 2, but he came into the league as a point guard.
Here's Westbrook. Second shot opportunity. He lays it in. Westbrook's got 22 points.
Just a grinder, always doing the dirty work on the offensive glass, and that's one of the things he brings to the table.
Carter outside. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. That one's on Eric Gordon. And Clark, throughout your NBA career, you always wore number 33. How'd you end up picking that number?
Well, it goes back to my idolization of Lou Alcindor at the time, who is now known as Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He was the first big, graceful guy I saw do a little bit of everything in his days at UCLA. And then I digested all kinds of books and stories about him and just really admired his work on and off the court. Because he wore 33, I chose 33.
First free throw is good. Carter hits them both. And if you're just joining us, we played over a minute here in the third. And here's Westbrook from the arc, and Robert Covington picks up the foul. That's foul number 2 for him. Bulls trail by 8. And here's Levine. 15 points in the game. And no good. Good D by Harden. Houston's gone 6 of 14 with the 3-ball tonight, just a little over 40%. And here's Westbrook from the arc, and another 3 for Houston.
And with the lead, I like the strategy here. Continue to get the ball to guys who can do something with it.
If it's working, keep working it. That's what I say. Keep the pressure on them.
Now here is Carter. Levine inside the 3-point line. Here's Markkanen. And it's rebounded by Covington. Covington's got 4 rebounds in this game.
That's 1 for their first 4 to start the second half.
And it's Westbrook missing. And so it's Carter who brings the ball up for the Bulls. 11-point game. And that one's good by Porter.
Fleshing out his game more and more. I really like seeing Porter go to work inside.
Just under 2.5 minutes into the third quarter now. Westbrook passes to Covington. That's good, and so Westbrook comes up with the assist. Westbrook's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. Now Levine. He dishes it to Porter. 6 to shoot. Knocked loose. Bounce pass Markkanen. It's rebounded by Houston. Tucker's got rebound number 5 here tonight. The kick out to Westbrook. 3-pointer on the way. Here's Gordon. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
And Gordon very physical with the defense. Solid at creating chances for himself to get to the line.
Now, when he came into the league, Eric Gordon was tagged as a shooter. Now he's been shooting more than ever.
And Gordon, the last few seasons, has been shooting, how about this, over 8 threes a game. His success rate with them has gone up and down over the years, but one thing is for sure, he always has the green light.
First free throw is good. Well, Eric Gordon is the kind of player that you absolutely do not go under on a screen. He'll pull up from deep.
Yeah, he's got great range, and you watch the former Hoosier shoot, and you see how much he uses his legs. Gordon's liable to take a shot from any distance in the gym. I mean, he's got that kind of range, and his form is very efficient, and his confidence is sky high.
And so he makes both from the line.
Really appreciate the all-around game of Gordon. He's an underrated defender, but a dynamic scorer.
Pass to Carter. Just under 3.5 minutes played here in the third quarter. Here's Harrison, defended by Covington. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. Clark, there are a lot of factors a free agent puts into selecting the new team that he goes to. Talk about the factors that aren't basketball for these free agents.
Well, I think you could see some of them if you gave it some thought, Kevin. You think about a market size, nightlife for some guys is important. Business opportunities when you think about places like Silicon Valley or New York or Los Angeles. Season of life for the individual player in terms of his family and where he might want to reside after he's done playing. So there are a number of different things that contribute to free agents making moves from one team to the next.
Now, did you have a family, Clark, when you played your last couple years in the NBA?
We were without children, but it was Rosie and I. We had been married 4 years, and then our family started right after I retired.
Second free throw, no good. And the level of detail that Robert Covington approaches defense with is just phenomenal. He is always prepared for his matchup.
Yeah, and that's why he's an outstanding defender, Kevin, because he's got the physical attributes. He's got excellent speed and quickness for a guy of his size, good length and strength, outstanding hands. But he does a nice job of studying his opponent and what he needs to do to be effective defensively. I think he's one of the better defenders in the game and on the wings.
Now, here's Dunn. Finds himself wide open and drills it. Dunn's got 6.
Boy, you got to love it whenever you see Dunn working the screen roll. Crafty, creative, and competent is Chris Dunn.
Covington's shot is off.
You know, even though it's a point-blank range shot, that's not an easy one, especially when the defense is that tight.
Valentine kicks to Dunn. Valentine with it. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. Markkanen throws it down.
Markkanen doing a nice job, cutting with purpose after the screen, folks. I mean, he's extremely hard to guard in these sets because he's intentional about his cuts.
Just rubbing it in their faces with that dunk.
He is never going to take his foot off the pedal.
And that's terribly demoralizing for a defense, guys. I mean, they know he's going to keep coming and coming and coming, and that they may not have an answer for it.
That's a double whammy, guys.
That's right. A great defensive play, then the emphatic stuff.
Well, turning defense to offense, we talk about it all the time. Try to hit your opponent at the other end before they can set up the defense.
That one's in there. Rocket lead is cut down to 10 on the bucket from Carter. Now a timeout called by Houston. Chicago making some changes. Luke Cornett, he's checked in for Carter. And it's Young in for Lauri Markkanen. Houston with a big group substitution here. Jeff Green is checked in for P.J. Tucker. Daniel House comes in for Robert Covington. McLemore's checked in for Gordon. And it's Rivers in for Russell Westbrook.
And Green's become a dependable three-point threat. If you don't get a hand in his face, he can certainly knock those down.
Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, for the last 5 years, the Golden State Warriors have been the colossus that stood over the NBA. There were thoughts that most teams were not willing to do things to be competitive, knowing that they could not beat the Splash Brothers, Draymond Green, and then Kevin Durant. But the Warriors lost to the Raptors in the finals last year, combined with the injuries to Durant and Klay Thompson, have opened things up. And for the first time in a long time, there are any number of teams in this league that believe it's their time.
Probably so. The West is strengthened, there's no doubt, DA. Interesting matchups coming up for sure. Thank you. And let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for Houston.
They keep piling up the assists, and they haven't cooled off at all.
They've really been on fire from beyond the arc tonight, too. I mean, a lot of their points have come from out there.
That free throw good from Thaddeus Young. And Clark, talk about the leadership of a guy like Thaddeus Young.
And he's one of my favorites because he's just solid. His actions speak louder than his words, and he's a grinder. I mean, he's a guy who just gives you everything he has and does all of the little things day in and day out. Tremendous locker room presence.
Good on both. Well, Clark, they say it's a make-or-miss league, as you know, and Thaddeus Young has that knack for finishing.
Yeah, he does. He's got a really good knack. Catches defenders flat-footed with his early release, and he's pretty crafty when he gets it inside, and being left-handed certainly doesn't hurt.
And a chance now to take a look at the schedule for the Chicago Bulls. On Tuesday, they'll host the New York Knicks. Then on Thursday, they'll be matching up against Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Milwaukee Bucks.
And if I'm this team, I'm looking at this as a barometer to see how we stack up against some of the top teams in the league. They'll have to be at their best. But if they come out of this with some success, I think it'll build momentum for the rest of the run.
And the first one at the line is good. Well, so many people were worried about Chris Dunn's offense after his rookie year. But you know what, Greg? He's turned it around.
And gone from struggling to hit 40% of his shots to shooting better from the floor. Still a strong defender, and he's making people forget that his offense was ever a question mark.
Chandler Hutchison, he's checked in for Chicago.
And one of the problems in the first half, that shoddy work at the free throw line. They needed to fix that, and they've been much improved since the break.
Now here's McLemore, and another three for Houston.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today, ending with a basket coming off a pretty pass?
Well, when you look at the assist totals, heck, they've been clearly the better team.
Dunn, wide open, he fires, and right away they match it with a three-pointer of their own.
You know, this is something Dunn's trying to work on, firing off the catch, becoming more fluid and a little less robotic.
McLemore, the pass to Rivers. Passes it to House. Back to Rivers. Green deciding where to go with it. Rivers trying to get open, and Carroll gets it to go. Carroll's got his second bucket of the game to go.
And you know, at times, it doesn't matter what you do. Carroll able to capitalize from this spot.
Pass to Young. It's rebounded by Houston. Here's McLemore. Wow, that was a strong dunk.
Wow, and that sort of showmanship is just deflating right now to a team trying to get back into a game like this.
Ouch, Greg, that is definitely an emphasis jam. A big apostrophe or exclamation point, maybe even a question mark.
And guys, I know there are a lot of questions right now defensively for this team. There's no doubt about that.
Now here's McLemore, following the miss by Chris Dunn. Now here's McLemore. He's got 8. The pass to House. From deep three-point range, Hutchison with the rebound.
He missed that one, but I've seen him drill shots from that distance in warm-up.
Well, that looked to me, guys, like a heat check and was maybe a step out of his range.
I mean, if the defender is going to play off like that, then you know what's going to happen. There are going to be points put on the board.
1:43 left in the third quarter. Rivers kicks to McLemore. And some nice passing there by Houston. Pass to Green. And they'll turn it over. Could not get off a shot. 24-second violation.
Looking now at the numbers for Dunn, how he performed last season. Averaged about 11 points a game, 6 assists and 4 rebounds. The contributions he's been making on the floor have been a boon for this team. Great stretch of games for him.
Yeah, you know, they've given him more responsibility, and he's responded. And the way he's going, I think his role is only going to increase.
Young trying to break free, but he gets it back. Dunn against Rivers. Dunn kicks to Satoransky. From deep. And it's Rivers with the rebound. Houston leading by 11. Banked in off the glass. Rivers has got 5 now. And here's Dunn. He'll bring it up for Chicago. They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Satoransky finds Young. Rockets with the rebound. Green's got 4 rebounds in this game. Here's Rivers. It's hauled in by Dunn. Dunn's got 4 rebounds now tonight.
Well, you know, they're in the lead, but he's still been frustrated from an offensive standpoint.
Now, here's Satoransky. Passes it to Young. Just 5 on the clock. Out to the right wing. Here's Dunn. Misses the 3. from deep three-point range, and the last shot before the buzzer is off. And so it's the Houston Rockets, 13 points up at the end of the period. They've been putting on a clinic in the paint. Shots are falling with regularity, and they are pounding it down low. We'll get right back to the action when we return. And a quick look now at the State Farm assist of the game.
And how about the floor generalship right here? I mean, showing us why they're always in good hands when he's the man in charge.
Well, clearly he's the guy that stirs the drink for him, and that's how he does it, with his dynamite passing skills.
And there have been two very different performances from these teams today as we get going in quarter number 4. White and Levine team up in the backcourt. Then it's Young. Then it's Otto Porter Jr. And it's Hutchinson in at the 4-man position. That's the 5 out there for the Bulls.
And what body control. Even when White gets bodied up, he sticks with his shot.
At the line for the Bulls, one shot.
One shot.
And this is one of the things they need to keep doing in the second half to get this win. Keep knocking down those free throws. They've been sensational here at the line.
Now here's Westbrook. Good defensive work there by Young.
And the activity he shows around the rim is why he is such a respected defender.
And you know what? He's not going to give up an easy finish at the rim. I mean, that's just against his constitution.
Now here's Porter following the miss by Russell Westbrook. No good there, and that would have cut it to single digits. Out to the right wing. Played in with a nice touch off the glass. Westbrook's got 9 points now in just the second half.
Big miscommunication on defense. He recognizes it and quickly takes advantage.
Boy, the defense looks shell-shocked. I mean, they're on the ropes right now, on their heels.
And another miss. Woo, he's having a really ugly game.
Yeah, about as ugly as you can have, you're right. House kicks to Westbrook. Releases. And good. Got the English that time as it falls. Westbrook's got the lead up to 14 now for the Rockets. White inside. He's covered by Westbrook. White looking around.
And, you know, I think Young has always done a good job of creating contact to make a living at the free throw line. That's a nice skill to have.
At the line for the Bulls, 2 shots.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And he can't get the first one.
And while Young is serviceable at the line, not terrible, there's still a lot of room for improvement.
Chicago making a switch here. Markkanen's checked in. Houston with a big group substitution here. P.J. Tucker, he's checked in for Damari Carroll. Robert Covington comes in for Danuel House. Eric Gordon, he's checked in for Ben McLemore. And James Harden subbed in for Austin Rivers. He hits the second from the line. Just about 1.5 minutes gone by here in the fourth. And here's Westbrook. He kicks it to Tucker. Shoots the 3. And Harden gets it to go in on the assist from Tucker. That's 12 points for James Harden.
It's been this way since halftime. Tremendous production from beyond the arc.
Boy, it's been a three-point barrage. They came out gunning and have not stopped.
A three-pointer is right on target.
The real come at us, and we're coming right back at you.
A little back and forth from long range. I love it. That's a terrific answer there.
Gordon finds Westbrook. Rejected by Young.
Thaddeus Young using that expansive wingspan to put that shot in reverse.
A slight rebound advantage for them. One more column in their favor, and it's all adding up.
Well, you take a look at all of the stats, the team stats, that is, and that's one of the many areas that they've had the advantage. And as a result, they've got a big lead.
Now, here's Westbrook following the miss by Otto Porter. Really left alone that time. And that's 15 points for Eric Gordon.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
And we're about 3 minutes into the fourth quarter. Here's Young. They grab their own miss. And there's the bucket. Staying with it on the offensive glass, getting it done.
You know, you look at Thaddeus Young, his motor on display there on the boards. One of the reasons he's carved out such a productive, long NBA career.
Now, here's Westbrook. Kicks it out to Covington. Harden inside the three-point line. Thaddeus Young grabs the miss. Young's got 4 rebounds in this game. Here's Porter, and he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. Well, you look at guys like Otto Porter, Greg, he just brings so much with his consistent outside jumper.
And guys, he's shot threes at a tremendous clip the last few seasons. I mean, really for his whole career. Sometimes can be a bit passive, so you just make sure he's involved and looking for his shot.
First one falls for him.
And every year, Porter seems to get better. His three-point shot continues to evolve, and he's embraced taking on more responsibility.
Wendell Carter, he's checked in for Thaddeus Young. And Porter drops them both. Rockets leading by 14. Now Harden makes that one his 6th of the night, shooting a very healthy 6 for 9.
They're consistently finding ways to get the ball inside and taking full advantage.
Pretty clear, it's smash mouth basketball. Pound that thing inside.
Now here's Levine. That shot is off. Harden with the defensive effort. Right side, Gordon. He can't get it to go. And the Bulls going the other way now. Outside, White. And stolen by Gordon. Down low, here's Covington, and he takes the feed in stride and slams it home.
Man, I like to see Covington get aggressive in the paint, sending a message to the defense with that dunk.
It's Carter, high post.
Rockets foul. PJ Tucker. That's his second personal foul. Wendell Carter. At the line for the Bulls, 2 shots.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
The first one falls. Carter hits them both. Westbrook with it. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Westbrook's got 8 points here in this quarter.
Yeah, that was the 3rd straight high percentage look the defense has allowed. The defenders have got to start putting bodies on bodies.
Chicago calls timeout.
Well, it's been an express lane to the rim. Coach can't be happy about that.
And, I think he's going to tell them simply, we have to show more fight on the interior. That's the top priority right now.
We got the heart, we got the soul. Just when the world's saying they got no hope, here comes the love. We got audio. We flying high, superhero. That's on my chest with my Marilyn Monroe. Feel like a star, 'cause we got audio.
White against Westbrook. And then Carter with the jam.
And a solid playmaker. White has a great sense for when he should look to give it up.
Westbrook kicks to Harden. Here's Gordon. Over White. And it's off the back rim. No good. Bulls trail by 16 to the inside. Stolen by Harden. And now, here comes Gordon leading the break. Markkanen pulls it in.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on it.
Porter passes to White. Back to Porter. Just 5 to shoot. Trying to get open is Carter. Offensive rebound, controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
And all those second chance points have given them a boost here in the second half, and that's a great way to cut into the lead.
Westbrook passes to Gordon, and it's Otto Porter with the foul. That is his first foul of the game. So it's the Rockets now. They led by as many as 18 points. And he makes the first. He makes 1 of 2 that time.
And just a better job of getting to the line here in the second half. Didn't get there once in the first.
Kicks it to Levine. Gordon with the defensive effort. Rockets leading by 15. Here's Westbrook. And it's White with the rebound. Now here's Porter. Makes it off the glass.
And when Porter is committed to finishing, there's no stopping him. Looking absolutely determined on that drive.
Near the three-point line, it's Westbrook. Not wasting any time and taking the shot and knocking it down.
Just Mr. Reliable again here today, Kevin. I mean, they need his points, and he's producing.
Levine against Covington. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. Robert Covington picks one up.
You know, battling inside, I like Levine's aggressive approach. Tough to match without fouling.
At the line for the Bulls, 2 shots.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And he knocks down the first one. He's off on the second. And it's Gordon with the ball. He brings it up for the Rockets. They lead by 14. Pass to Harden. And Houston again with the bucket.
You know, Harden is a remarkable talent, especially offensively. A versatile scorer who really is unstoppable once he gets going.
Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over.
He's forcing shots offensively, hurting his team in the process. He needs to trust his teammates more.
Can't match my flow, no. Live fast while we slow. Eat steak with, you know. Yeah, home for a while, then back on road. I'm gone, come back, then claim my throne. You mad, you broke, I'm on. We toast, West Coast, we bang, we post. Then travel across the globe, turn that loud as it goes. Been counting pounds and euros. I can't be playing with these, they bad, I know. Go ahead, get you some. Yeah, just watch me get me some. Go ahead, get you some. Get you some, just can't wait till I get me some. Go ahead, get you some. Just watch me get me some. Go ahead, get you some. Get you some, just can't wait till I get me some. And that's my tribe. I don't know how you stay fly. Oh my God.
And now we've got a moment for our Jordan Player of the Game, Russell Westbrook.
And guys, no doubt who our pick was going to be. He's made everyone else on the court look like they're playing at half speed. It's been total domination, and you can't help but just sit back and admire that performance.
Coming into this game, he had been having a tough stretch. We all know that, but not anymore. He's back at his best, and I think it's safe to say that slump is over. Westbrook against White. Porter looking it over. The pass to Levine for the three. Drills the three-pointer. Levine's got 7 points here in this quarter.
Levine has a quick release, does not need much time to get his shot off.
Harden against Levine. Pulls it up. Harden's shot is off.
Total breakdown from the defense there. I mean, he'll usually take advantage when that's the case.
Levine can't hit. Rockets leading by 13. Westbrook, no good.
And that is a textbook example of how to defend your rim.
And you know, guys, I love his fight and grit on the interior. I mean, he never lets a shot go uncontested.
Now here's White. Let's go. It's rebounded by Houston. Harden's got his 5th rebound in this one. Outside Westbrook. Porter against Gordon. Harden outside. Just 4 to shoot. And Harden with the stuff.
And this is what they wanted. I mean, to announce their presence in this matchup with authority. Very decisive. It can definitely be considered a statement win for the Rockets.
You know, a team can have a great shooting night without getting a lot of assists, but tonight they had both.
Yeah, and listen, you only get the assist if the guy you give it to makes the shot. So a lot of assists will up your field goal percentage, but this was a great team effort by everyone.
And they took charge when it counted, and they'll be notching their 9th win overall.
And so they'll take the first game of the season series, a team they'll only see twice. They're certainly happy to start it off with a win.
And that next meeting, Greg, will be their second and final game of the season series, being in opposite conferences. So you bet nobody wants to get swept even in a 2-game season series. So I think the next game will be hotly contested.
And you know, when you look at the huge impact he had, just a monster game for Russell Westbrook.
Boy, this game really had his name all over it. I mean, he relished being the guy to carry the load offensively.
Harden outside. So we see the Rockets taking the win here. This one was over well before the final buzzer. The fans were waiting for something to get excited about, Greg, but they never got it.
They sure didn't. I mean, they just rolled to this win. They made it look really easy. What an efficient performance at both ends.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks very much, James. Congrats on the win. Looked like you guys really had a lot of confidence and really had a lot of flow offensively.
Yeah, we just tried to move the ball and make the game easy tonight. We did a great job of actually just, guys getting shots, easy shots, and our defense really stepped up.
Yeah, great team performance all around, James. Thanks for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. And that'll do it, folks. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports. See you next time.